Welcome to the Smokes and Road Beers podcast. Now here's the warrior poet Seth and recovering journalist Bill.
The man once said, "We're live, pal."
We are live and in color, baby.
We are. And we are
That was my Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, we're live and in living color, baby. The man of the hour, the tower of power, if you will. Little Dusty for you to get the day started. Welcome into episode 1 of the Smokes and Road Beers podcast. I am recovering journalist Bill.
I am Seth Manhammer, warrior poet. I like how I have to look down to make sure that I am, in fact, me. Yes,
you're like any gaijin who's won the IWGP heavyweight title, and they have to look to make sure. That shit drove me nuts. Whenever AJ Styles or anybody else would say, "I'm the IWGP heavyweight champion," they would have to look down at the belt to make sure they're saying it right. You know?
Yeah, because there's a bunch of letters in there. I do the same thing. I wouldn't want to be like, I'm the ICP champion. IWGP.
Oh, that's great. Well, welcome into episode 1. And actually, we are streaming live right now on Rumble and Facebook exclusively. So we want to thank everybody who's here joining us. Make sure to send us your comments, your questions. Seth is going to be manning the helm on Rumble. I'm going to be manning the helm here on Facebook Live. So
basically, if you want to say bad things about Bill, you can put them in my chat on Rumble. And if you want to say bad things about me, you can put them in Bill's chat on Facebook. And then that way we can just kind of prod each other with the stuff as the show goes on.
Exactly. Seth, how was your week before we get into our deep dive?
Oh, hey, it wasn't too bad, actually. Got to might have played a little hooky from work for a couple of days, but we're not gonna, but that might have been it's going to be in relation to something else we're going to talk about, the Cyberpunk release here in a little while. I did not solely take off just for a video game. No, never. I'm an adult.
Never do that. Well, I would never do that.
Right.
I've never done that before. Daniel commented, "I am the bearded champion." Yes, you are.
Oh, we are gifted by Master Roshi's presence himself. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. Please give us some wonderful sage-like advice, Daniel Mounts.
Well, the big reason Daniel made that comment is because 2 years in a row, Daniel has won the best beard at Beard Night at our local minor league ballpark. So he's the defending champ, and that's his one claim to fame. Nobody can ever take that away.
And I gotta do admit, Daniel's beard is majestic. And I also have to say hello to your wife, Tabitha. Hello, sister wife. She said hi to me on Rumble here. So not that I'm just talking to your wife, out of turn. But
the sister wife loves her some Seth. Nobody can deny that.
I love her too.
Okay. All right. But folks, we got a jam-packed show today. We've got a lot of things we want to talk about. WWE has made some cuts and some additions, maybe some additions by subtraction. And we're going to stay on the wrestling tip for just a little minute after that, because we've got a wrestling movie we want to talk about. We want to talk about a wrestling show or two. And we're also going to talk, as Seth alluded to, we're going to talk about the Cyberpunk expansion being released, and Seth's going to give you a mini review of two of the biggest releases in the video game market to hit this year. And there's a new Dungeon Master hitting your virtual game screens soon. And when you find out who it is, you're going to be like, what?
Yeah. You're going to wonder, number one, how you ever lived without it, I think. Number two, you're going to wonder why you had even wanted in the first place. And
Matthew Mercer, beware.
Yeah.
Your job's in jeopardy, pal.
Right. And number 3, all lists are good with 3 points. So there wasn't really a number 3.
And then I've also got my weekly rant, and we're going to do our first ever, not first Heather, our first ever. I've done my first Heather when I was in my teens. We're going to do our first ever Seth Reacts. I'm going to play a random viral video, and Seth is going to react to it live. That's going to be a lot of fun. But first, let's get into this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share this on our screen. And kaboom. The WWE has signed AEW homegrown talent Jade Cargill, also known as Brandon Phillips' wife. If you don't know who Brandon Phillips is, Brandon Phillips is a former
Me?
baseball player. Brandon Phillips is a former baseball player. He's a second baseman for the Cincinnati Reds for the bulk of his career. I believe he played for the Indians and a couple other teams. And he was actually, I think he's part owner of the Lexington Legends minor league baseball team here in Kentucky. So, but that's who she is. And good move, bad move, Seth.
As much as the AEW fanboy in me like hates to see anybody leave, like I think it's like some of the best wrestling that we've got. I can't deny though that WWE is still the biggest place to go for anyone. The WrestleMania's name alone,
Mhm.
sells the show. WWE itself sells WWE.
Mhm.
It only makes sense, and I don't mean to throw any shade on AEW or Tony Khan or anything of what they built, because they've given WWE a run for their money in the past 5 years for sure. Uh,
Right.
have they even been around that long? Has it been four? Anyway, yeah, I think it's a great move for her. I really do. She can the the AEW women's division is not as strong as it should be, and it should be a lot stronger than what it is with the talent they've got. But she can really just I think she's really gonna do a lot better in WWE.
Yeah, I agree. She'll do better there. I think she'll get better training. I think she'll get more comfortable. She's going to be working with more seasoned pros.
Yeah.
I feel, Natalia could, I mean, she could wrestle a broomstick.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so I think she'll do just fine. Ashley, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hi
And
Ashley, thank you.
Ashley is a very popular streamer. She is actually going to be a guest on this show, hopefully very soon. She streams on Facebook. She streams playing Dead by Daylight. Is that the game where
Where you're all the serial killers, and yeah, I
you?
only played Michael Myers because yeah.
Yeah, I always play either Jason or Michael Myers. And she was the one who actually got me playing that game. But Ashley is going to be a guest soon. She's getting some things right and with her technical setup. Once she gets that, she will be joining us. And Ash, I hope you stick around to especially hear about the video game news that we're going to be talking about here in just a little bit. Dead by Daylight. Yeah, Ashley was the one who
Yeah.
got me playing that, and it's a lot of fun. I was thinking about today as I was building the rundown for today's show, and man, I've not got to play Starfield, and I've not got to play what's the other Baldur's Gate yet. I've
Right.
got to play Diablo 4, and I paid $100 for that shit.
Yeah, you were all about some Diablo 4 and hadn't really gotten to get a whole lot
I
into
know.
it.
I mean, the highest level character I've got right now is a 56, and I know by a lot of standards that's pretty low, but hey, some of us have lives, some of us have wives, and some of us have jobs. So,
Yeah.
it is what
Some
it
of us
is.
have been playing Baldur's Gate, and
Yeah.
for 70 some odd hours, and uh yeah.
All right. So, staying in with WWE moves right now, we also got news this week that former UFC fighter Matt Riddle has been released from his WWE contract. Seth, what do you know about this one?
So I know that he has been contentious on the WWE roster for a while, as in like he hasn't necessarily been, he's been his own worst enemy a lot of times.
Yeah.
Bringing stuff on himself. The thing is though, he's a hell of a talent. I can't. He's entertaining as all get out. I can't not say that. And I hate that he's not going to be on WWE anymore, because he was a very strong presence there. I think the stuff he and Randy Orton were doing was
Mhm.
probably some of my most favorite wrestling stuff, in the past decade.
Mhm.
Uh, I think that he's got potential to go other places. I would be very surprised to see him land anywhere higher than like an MLW or a GCW.
Mhm.
I don't see him going to AEW because of the problems, and I don't think he's very well liked backstage by very many people. I could be
Well,
wrong,
he's
but
had some issues with other wrestlers in the past backstage. Goldberg is probably the biggest name that comes to my mind, but
yeah, but fuck
he
Goldberg anyway. I'm going to say
yeah,
that now,
yeah,
but
fuck Goldberg anyway. I agree with you, but also with the merger, WWE and UFC joining together under the TKO banner, they're flying that flag now. And Dana White, I know, cut Matt Riddle in 2013 from the UFC, said he was he was a jerk. He was a clueless idiot that did not know what he was doing. And, he was just too much to handle. Well, now that those two entities are under the same banner, it does stand to reason that there'd be, looking to make more cuts, and this would be another logical cut because WWE made a bunch of cuts last week. However, there was also an incident where Riddle was at an airport and he claimed he was sexually groped by a TSA agent. Did you hear about this?
No, this is news to me.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if they've got this. By the way, we're sharing this from Ringside News' website, and I'm going to pull this up. Here it is. In case you need a refresher, Matt Riddle posted on Instagram that he was sexually assaulted by an officer at JFK Airport. This was the scene that caused when Riddle caused a disturbance, and then officers were called to the situation to handle things. Riddle went on to delete that post with the accusation.
Well, shit. No, that one was news to me.
So, yeah, I mean, the guy, he's just... Ringside News exclusively reported that they were told multiple attempts were made to de-escalate the situation with Riddle before things got physical. The situation at JFK Airport was described as a disturbance caused by Riddle. And Riddle was suspended one time for the wellness policy violation thing, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I remember him popping hot, but I don't remember anything other than that. I know like he had like a bunch of issues with his I believe it's his current ex-wife, and
there were some issues with that too.
Yeah, and his former girlfriend, two different people, but yeah, he had issues with them. Possible domestic issues, alleged domestic issues in some cases.
Well, whatever happens, Matt, we wish you the best. We hope everything works out for you, but I mean, we know you ain't broke, so.
Yeah, well, I don't know though. He's got what, 4 kids now? That child support.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. I know he's got at least 3 kids, I believe. But I think that child support is going to get him. So he may not be broke, or he may not have money for long.
Sticking with the wrestling theme, we're going to get into a couple of wrestling shows real quick. But my buddy John sent me a link the other day asking about this movie, The Iron Claw. And I had seen a couple of things about it. I thought it was just some kind of fan-made spoof or gag or whatever. It's not. This is a legit movie coming out. I was blown away.
And I had heard that it was coming out. I was actually surprised to find out that it was this far along. Looking at just like the cast picture of it, I don't think any of them look particularly like Von Erichs, but
I think the guy who played Lip in Shameless, I guess he could pass for Von Erich, but
yeah, okay. I'm gonna say this too. Like I never. Okay, like I grew up knowing the legend of the Von Erichs. I never really saw him, like during the heyday. But I've gone back and I've watched, plenty of World Class and all this stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And to hear about, how heartthrobby they were. Like I've seen like the them coming out and the girls kissing them and all this stuff. And I'm not saying that I'm a connoisseur of dudes exactly, but I never thought that they were attractive. I couldn't see like how they're very fugly men to me, and I don't understand.
Okay, I can say this because I'm secure enough in my manhood to say that from the neck down, they're all 10s. Okay.
I mean, physique wise, they're jacked, but it's like I've always been a more like whole package kind of person, and and I'm not afraid to admit that I'd nail a dude, maybe if I was drunk enough, but
this one would be a brown bag deal.
Yeah, and I never understood. Yeah, never got the Von Erichs attractiveness.
Well, let's check out what the Today Show. Oh, wait a minute. Let me make sure I am sharing I want to make sure I'm sharing the screen audio. Let's get everything right today, Bill. All right. Yeah, we're sharing the audio correctly. All right. So let's take a listen of this clip that they had on the Today Show talking about this movie.
Next up, all right. We're getting a first look at the star-studded cast in A24's upcoming biopic about a famous family with a tragic story. Here's a peek in a totally transformed look. That is Zac Efron right there, Jeremy Allen White, Harris Dickinson from Where the Crawdads Sing, and actor Stanley Simmons. The group is going to play 4 brothers from the Von Erich wrestling family, known for making a huge impact on the sport and an unfortunate string of tragedies. 5 of the 6 brothers passed away at an early age. The film, Iron Claw, is expected to hit theaters in December. Got some training for that one, huh?
Indeed.
Looking good.
All right. And yeah, I mean, well, let's be honest. Zac Efron has always been a fit guy.
Oh yeah.
And then James
Yeah,
Allen White, the guy who plays Lip in Shameless, I mean, that dude, he probably didn't have to put in a whole lot of work.
I'm okay. That dude, Lip is because I don't know the actors, and you just said it, but you know,
That's okay.
I associate more with character names, so
I
that's
understand.
going to be a running thing. But Lip, I can safely say that I feel like Lip is definitely an actor's actor.
Yeah.
And that he could do just about anything. Like I've seen him in many things before I even like ever saw him in Shameless. Okay, movie 43, the scene with Liev Schreiber and I forgot the woman that played his wife. But anyway, yeah, they have this whole scene about homeschooling him, and he's the kid. And it's probably one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen. People hate movie 43, but I love it. But yeah, he's in that, and it was a fantastic comedic turn. Zac Efron, you know, that dude can act like a motherfucker. Because you know, just some of the stuff, like he can do comedy, he can do drama. You know, he was freaking Ted Bundy. You know, like I got no hate on Zac Efron as an actor. You know, I'm down to see this. The only thing that I'm wondering about with this movie is if a lot of what we know about the Von Erich, the Von Erich story is told through Kevin, because he's obviously the only one still alive. And you know, and Kevin has the best outlook on someone who has been through so much tragedy, as anyone I've ever known of.
Now, when they sold, because I know World Class merged with USWA. Now, who got all the money when all of those tape libraries got sold to WWE? Because obviously Kevin, for those of you that don't know, Kevin Von Erich, the one surviving brother, he's actually now a real estate investor and developer in Hawaii. So clearly dude's not broke. So
no. I don't know. Now I'm not sure on the USWA thing. Because that's one bit I'm kind of cloudy on.
Well, even Cornette said that tape library, that one there was so many people that had their fingers in that pie. The Jarretts, Lawler, Eddie, or a couple of other guys who were promoters there. They all got their fingers in that pie.
Yeah, I know. Shit, I got an 11 disc set of like the classic Memphis wrestling. That was Dave Brown had set that up, I believe, before he died, and it was like a total bootleg set. And Jerry Lawler
Dave Brown died?
It might not have been him. It might have been.
Are you thinking Lance?
No, it wasn't Lance. It wasn't Lance.
Lance Russell is dead. Dave Brown.
No, I know Lance Russell's dead. No, it was somebody else then that was involved in the Memphis stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Dave Brown just retired from Memphis NBC affiliate as a weatherman, literally like just 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm getting my names all ran together.
Okay. But speaking of names, let's see the names attached to this movie.
Yeah.
All right. According to IMDb, Kevin Von Erich will be played by Zac Efron. For those of you, what little mainstream success Kevin Von Erich had. Carrie.
No, Kevin was the barefoot one.
Yeah, Kevin was the barefoot one, the one that lives. And Jeremy Allen White, Lip from Shameless, he'll be playing Kerry Von Erich. He had the most mainstream success and was with the WWE for a time as the Texas Tornado. Tabitha said
motorcycle accident.
Yeah, Tabitha says that she loved Jeremy Allen White as Ted Bundy. Imagine that. My wife.
Not Ted Bundy. Ted Buddy.
Oh, Buddy. I don't know who Ted Buddy is. Okay. It's my wife. So I thought
it was Tabitha just being goofy with Ted Buddy. It was like I like it. He's gonna be Ted Buddy to be from now on.
Harris Dickinson is playing David Von Erich, who died in Japan. Oh well, shit! I'm giving all the spoilers for the movie here.
Well, I mean, it's a biopic. Like I don't think it's I don't think you're going to be surprised at what happens.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil I'm not going to spoil the Titanic by telling you that the ship sank.
Right.
Doris, is Doris Fritz Von Erich's wife?
I'm going to be honest. I do not know.
Okay.
Oh shit!
See, there's your Buddy. Stupid autocorrect. Tabitha, you did it again. That's going to to be a new segment on this podcast.
Oh.
How many things can Tabitha get auto-corrected?
Tabitha's autocorrect.
Bundy.
Bundy.
This week,
Ted Buddy.
Tabitha's
Nope, Ted
autocorrected.
Buddy. Notorious serial murderer.
My
Ted
wife, ladies
Buddy.
and gentlemen.
Well, I love you, sister wife. I love you.
That's awesome. Okay, so Michael Hayes is being played by Brady Pierce. Where would I know Brady Pierce?
This is making compelling audio where it's Bad Boys 4. Oh, he was in a Stuntman on Heels.
Oh, okay. And then Kevin
Anton.
Shit,
they're gonna have Bruiser Brody in this.
Yeah, Bruiser Brody, Harley Race. Yeah,
Bruiser Brody. Like, I'm a huge Bruiser Brody mark. I fucking love him.
Aaron Dean Eisenberg is playing Ric Flair.
This
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know who that is. And then everyone's favorite heel, our scumbag, MJF, is going to be playing the long lost Von Erich, who was probably the Von Erich for long enough to grab a coffee, Lance Von Erich.
Yeah, he was the Von Erich towards the end once the rest of the sons had either unfortunately passed away or weren't actually good enough to wrestle. Because who was the little Von Erich that couldn't
was it
one of them
Marshall?
was really, really small.
No,
it might have been
Marshall.
Is there Christopher?
I can't remember, but I know the little Von Erich, and he had the bone disease.
Yeah.
And
he tried so hard, but failed.
I know who you're talking about, but looking forward to this. This is one that will definitely get me in theaters. Lily James is in and attached, but it doesn't say who she's playing, so that'll be interesting.
No.
And Holt McAnally, McAnally is playing Fritz Von Erich. So, I on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I'd rather watch paint dry, and 10 being Avengers Endgame. What's your scale for wanting to go see this?
Oh, I'm always going to be a 10 on wrestling movies. Like it's it's. I mean, it's just the now. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not, but it's super important to me to like to see it. I enjoy seeing how like outsiders view our thing, like, because they never get it all the way. Like, they might pay lip service to it, but very rarely does something like a Heels come along where it's actually gets what we love and what we love about it and makes a compelling show or a movie or whatever about.
Well, speaking of Heels, unfortunately, it was announced earlier this week that Heels has been canceled. And Stars cancels Heels and a few other shows. The other shows I don't even care about. I don't get it. They say that the reason according to the Hollywood Reporter, the reason it was canceled is because it didn't have the viewership. Now, I don't know the numbers to that, but I can tell you every review site, whether it's Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, Metacritic, everybody loved this show. Nobody had anything bad to say about it. I mean, even on Superbox, if you pull it up on the Blue Video on Demand app, it's got like an 8.7 rating. So just another thing CM Punk has ruined.
I'm not gonna put the blame solely at Punk.
I'm not. I'm just teasing.
Yeah. No. And
I do find it funny and conspicuous, however, that he shows up on Mayans, the show gets canceled. He shows up on Heels, the show gets canceled. Fired from AEW. This guy, but either way, that's not the important thing here. The important thing is that a great TV show ends, and it ended on a hell of a cliffhanger. No spoilers, but I will tell you, I've watched the 2 seasons. They're both phenomenal. They're both very, very well done on every level. But the cliffhanger at the end of season 2, I just knew we were going to get season 3. And I hope like YouTube or Amazon Video or somebody picks it back up.
Yeah, I've seen season 1. I haven't watched season 2 yet because it just ended, I believe, within the past week or so. I like to watch everything all at once. But I loved the first season. I thought it was fantastic. I hate that this show is gone. I really hope that, like you said, it does get picked up. Daniel, I agree. I hate CM Punk too. Fuck that guy. And he's getting what he deserves, right now, just being, the colossal shitbag that he is.
Well, hopefully somebody will pick this up and at least give us the season 3, because that cliffhanger, once you see it, you're going to be like, oh, no fucking way. This is how they end this show. Yeah, I was just, it shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Oh man. But anyway, okay, folks, we promise that's going to be the end of wrestling talk. I know the first half
Yeah,
hour.
the show will also not always be wrestling focused.
Yes,
Like
I
we will
promise.
talk about other things. It's just wrestling stuff has been,
Yeah, this past week there was a lot of wrestling news.
Yeah.
So we can't say anything about that. But what we can say a lot about is that Cyberpunk, for all of you who are still playing the game, I tried, and all of the bugs and shit just got to me. So
Oh, damn.
I tried.
When did you try? I gotta ask. When did you
Oh,
try?
maybe a couple of months after it came out.
Okay. So it
Ashley,
was
if
still
you're
in pretty
still
rough shape.
Yeah, Ashley, if you're still here, did you play Cyberpunk? And if you did, what were your thoughts? But Seth, I know you're excited because they released the Phantom Liberty expansion. Tell us about this.
Yes, they released the Phantom Liberty expansion along with the 2.0 update, and I'm gonna out myself here. I was a pretty big mark for Cyberpunk when it first came out. Like I bought a copy for the PS4 that ran like dog shit. Bought a copy for the Xbox that ran like dog shit, and finally ended up buying the Stadia copy, which actually ran really well, and actually made me a Stadia convert until Stadia died. But RIP Stadia.
Mhm.
Yeah, playing it with no bugs on the Stadia was a very I loved it. Loved the game. Loved the plot. Loved the scenario in it. After I played it the first time, I put it down. Didn't touch it again until this 2.0 update. Picked it back up again, and it's like a totally different game. Just about like the systems are different in a good way.
Mhm.
The cars feel a lot better. The combat feels a lot better. It was the
Hey, now just kind of a non sequitur. Me and Daniel and our brother Donald, we wore the hell out of the Need for Speed Heat, and a lot of it was in the last couple of years. That game stands the test of time. But sorry, I just thought
Oh
I'd put
yeah,
some context into
no
that.
doubt, no doubt. It's like I still have Burnout Takedown on my Xbox. Like
Oh hell
the
yeah.
old I love those. Going back is good.
Mm.
But no, I'm a huge Cyberpunk fan. Like I love how the story that it was able to tell. It's the idea of being in this world where you can just replace any body part you want to with something metal and chrome. Like one of the running themes is like, do we really have a soul? Like what are we losing by like cutting these pieces off of ourselves for convenience? It really nails the whole cyberpunk thing of like in cyberpunk, like technology is not supposed to really be a boon. It's supposed to be suffocating and almost omnipresent, and the game does a hell of a job doing that. I'm still not into the Phantom Liberty stuff because I have to apparently go so far into the main story.
Mhm.
I'm hoping to do that after the show because that's my plan, and so maybe next week I can actually talk a little bit more about that. But the 2.0 update is phenomenal right now. I've sunk 25 hours into it probably already, and that's
Well,
just doing random stuff and a little bit of the story mission.
I would love to give it another chance, but I've got 3 games on my Xbox Series X that I haven't even touched yet. So, I actually fired it up today because I saw there was a couple of updates. One was for WWE 2K23 and the other one was for MLB The Show. So I did that, but I haven't really got to actually play anything in quite a while because, like I said, I love playing my video games. Don't get me wrong, but I will also say that I've gotten, really heavily into pickleball, picking golf back up again like I used to, and I play a lot of Magic the Gathering. So,
Yeah.
and so something's got to give. But either
No,
way,
I get that. I get that. Like personally, like with me, like I'll cycle through stuff. Like right now, I'm like playing a lot of video games.
mhm.
Eventually, it's going to cycle around to be what's up, George? What's up, buddy? Uh, and the why can't Daniel play the Final Fantasy VII remake?
I I was going to say, isn't it going to be on Microsoft platform?
Probably not with the way Square
Oh,
is gonna be shit. We'll talk and I'll loan you my PS5. I don't use that fucking thing anyway. But Yeah. I fucking bought the game so he can fucking play it on my account, you know, whatever. We'll work that shit out later.
When does that due out?
The remake, the first part of it came out a couple of years ago. The second part's coming out. I'm going to
I
say
did,
within the next couple of months. Yeah.
I didn't know they were releasing it in parts, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, that's another game too that it's like I Daniel's
Yay!
like, fuck yeah.
Daniel's over here like Gabby J in Tyson's Punch Out. Yay!
Yeah. Yay. Yeah, so I need to not spoil the game because I was just totally about to fucking blurt it out. But like it's like okay, I just want to say like I was not a Final Fantasy VII fan. Like I just thought like I mean it
Oh,
was a good game, you know, it was a
that's the
good
end of
game.
this
Like it wasn't,
podcast.
but I was a Final Fantasy VI guy. But then like once I like I got bought into the hype of the remake and I got it and I started playing it and then like it gets real fucking good. And it like
Mhm.
it's let me just say it gets real fucking good.
Mm.
And that's all I want to say because I don't want to ruin anybody's experience with it or anything. But yeah.
I
Actually,
remember.
yeah, I'm gonna play the part 2 remake. So Daniel, I'm gonna get the part 2, and then I'm gonna play it, and then you can play it when I'm done. There we go.
I will say I spent many wasted hours raising chocobos just to get the Knights of the Round spell. Oh my god!
Ah, fucking chocobo breeding. Yeah, I never did that shit. I had buddies that did chocobo breeding, and like the
That was
Game
the
Shark
OG
was real
grind.
popular. Yeah.
That was the OG grind. You saw our friend George hopped in here for just a second with his comment. What's up, fellas? George actually runs a really cool podcast himself, and he's going to be a guest sometime soon. What is a Fanatic? No,
The
not
Fanatic Forum.
the Fanatic
Yeah,
Forum.
the
Thank you.
Fanatic Forum.
Go check
Yeah,
them out on
I'm the
Facebook.
junior fanatic on there from time to time, but George's
Oh,
Fanatic Prime. Check his show out; it's fantastic. And
did you hear that?
yeah,
Joe Bob Briggs
Joe
got
Bob Briggs got another. Yes. Actually, I saw that right before we went on. Yeah, and we actually, yeah, it'll be great to talk about that. Because so this Joe Bob. Do you know who Joe Bob Briggs is?
Sorry.
Okay, so back in the day, like he used to be on the movie channel when it was a premium channel, and he would do like he would show like drive-in like exploit like B movies, like horror movie kind of stuff, and he
Mhm.
would do the intro before and after. Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, he was the
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So he did that for like, and then he did it with TNT with Monster Vision for years, and you know they ran a couple of movies a night on weekends, and he'd come in and talk during them and everything. Well, Shudder's been doing that too with The Last Drive-In,
Mhm.
and for the past couple of years they've been doing every Friday, every once in a while on every couple of Fridays they do a double feature and all this shit. So now this season is there's going to be he's only going to do one movie a Friday, but there's going to be more Fridays.
Mm.
So it's going to be cool, and I love the Joe Bob's commentary is fantastic because it's either some kind of weird little rant that he goes on, like trivia about the movie. Darcy the Mail Girl, who was former adult film star Diana Prince,
Mhm.
who is still fantastic as Darcy the Mail Girl. But yeah, it's a good time, and I'm glad the Shutter's doing it. I'm glad they renewed it. Uh, yeah, I love me some Joe Bob. I got the shirts I wear from time to time, and yeah, Joe Bob is my hero.
Well, still talking about video games a little bit. I know you wanted to talk about the two biggest releases of the year, arguably Starfield on Xbox and Baldur's Gate 3. Right now, it's only on PC, but it is coming to console before the end of the year. Is that correct?
So Starfield is on Xbox right now,
Mhm.
and PC is Game Pass. Baldur's Gate 3 is on PS5 and PC, but will be coming to Xbox sometime before the end of the year.
Gotcha.
And yeah, and Tabitha has commented B horror movies. Yes, B horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lots and lots of Joe Bob goodness. I have discs made and everything already too. It's like I can hook you up, Tabitha. I got you.
Oh, well, we do need to, pour some out for our homie Tabitha because she lost one of her favorites today. The gentleman who plays Dumbledore in the Harry Potter films passed away today. I cannot remember his name. I'm sure
Oh
Tabitha,
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that
yeah.
sucks.
So, Tabitha has been sad and mopey all day. So, but I mean, it happens. So,
Yeah.
pour a little out for Dumbledore.
But so yeah, back to Baldur's Gate and
Yes.
and Starfield.
Starfield. You
So
played them both.
yeah, I played them both. Starfield is there's a hell of a game in Starfield. I don't know if I've got the patience to find it. Um it's okay. I will say that I feel like Starfield is what No Man's Sky should have been.
Mhm.
And No Man's Sky is that famous blundered and I'm sorry if you hear my cat just howling
That's okay.
uh down here. She's yeah, a needy little broad. But yeah, it's No Man's Sky was supposed to be like the big open space sim that you could do all this stuff in, and it's like I feel like Starfield has got all that stuff in there plus more, but it's pretty damn boring. I'm not gonna lie. Excuse me. Sorry, I had a little couple of drinks, but but yeah, Starfield is, and I know people that have played Starfield and love it, but it's just a little too much of a Bethesda slog for me.
Mm.
Trying to figure out like the inventory stuff, and it's a dense RPG. Like there's like systems upon systems upon systems in there, and
Mhm.
it doesn't exactly like it wants you to figure stuff out on your own, which is part of the fun. I get that, and I don't hate on anybody that's their thing, but I don't think that's my thing anymore. Like I just
Gotcha.
kind of need stuff more spelled out, a little
Yeah.
bit, and I feel like to transition, Baldur's Gate 3 has done that. They gave me enough, to what I need to go into, and I've put probably 70, probably 80 hours into that one at this point, well into Act 3, but they released the third patch for it, which kind of borked the game. So I'm waiting for them to patch it again
Right.
to continue playing. But I've been enjoying Cyberpunk in the meantime. But no, Baldur's Gate is a hell of a D&D experience. So many different choices, so many different outcomes you can do. The world is so interactable. Just like thinking about doing things like, I wonder if I can do this. And chances are you probably can.
Mhm.
Especially like cheesing encounters or like figuring out things like like if a guy's by a chasm, you don't have to fight him, you can push him, and he just goes off the cliff and dies, or whatever. It's a truly epic story, and it's a super impressive game. I
Mhm.
know a bunch of developers were upset that people were kind of saying that this was going to be a new standard, and it should be.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we as consumers shouldn't expect something like this that's playable and relatively unbroken at launch.
Mhm.
Especially to give us the amount of stuff to do, and things to explore, and like it's very much an explore game. Like it wants you to just like go and like look in every nook and cranny, and you'll find something, or you'll find somebody that wants to bang you, or yeah. The game is very horny too.
All
Uh,
right.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, like there's the talk to animals spell. There's a
Mhm.
talk to animals spell, right? So it's like just about like there's only one time that I couldn't talk to any chickens, which I
Talk to
should have used.
animal spell?
Yeah.
That sounds like my dating life after my second divorce.
Actually, that's not a bad comparison because I was present for that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You did parade a zoo. But
Oh.
I can say that because later on Bill saw me parade a zoo
No,
back and forth with the
Seth can
apartment that
say
we
that
shared.
because he was there. Seth was usually taking the tickets.
I was.
Oh, oh,
But yeah,
that
Baldur's
one hurt
Gate
a little
3
bit.
is a fantastic game.
Well,
I highly
IGN,
recommend it.
let me go ahead and fast forward because IGN actually rated it as a perfect 10, a masterpiece.
I I
Won't
I
argue with them.
I yeah, I really can't argue with them.
Mm,
There's a little bug every now and then, some kind of hiccup or whatever, like, that wasn't like already broken with a patch. I mean,
mm.
um but yeah, no, it's been an incredible experience.
Yeah, and then I did see on there talking about Starfield, IGN actually did rate that as either a 6 or a 7. They said it was good, but you did have to slog through, especially the first 20 hours. But then after the first 20 hours, it kind of picks up some.
Yeah, and it's and Starfield. There's a good game there. I'm almost certain of it. I just don't have the patience to find it.
Mm.
Uh, it's just that there's something to be said about those games that just drop you in there and they're like, go do whatever. But there's also something to be said for those games, like they drop you in there, but then it's like here's some ideas of where you can go to get started, kind of thing. But yeah.
Well, Baldur's Gate is a Dungeons and Dragons property, and speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, that's going to segue into something we teased a little bit earlier. If you've ever wanted your dungeons to be off the hizzle for rizzle, Snoop Dogg is going to be a dungeon master. Matt Mercer, beware, your spot is in jeopardy.
This is what technology has brought us. Someone,
Joe Manganiello, can you do something about this?
Right, yeah.
Stop this. You're Deathstroke, damn it.
Yeah, Gary Gynax right now is just, making circles in his grave, I'm assuming.
Oh my gosh. Damn.
And it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's like the novelty. I love it. I hope that it is a full in character Snoop Dogg dungeon master where he will completely say things or make fun of you depending on your choices. Of course Tabitha would love this.
Of course you would.
Of course.
Daniel, that is a trash idea. I think the novelty, I mean, for me, it's going to be a one and done. Like, and then there's other celebrities who are going to be AI powered personal assistants, including Kendall Jenner, Tom Brady, and Mr. Beast. So I'm just
when they make the her Scarlett Johansson talk dirty to me AI, like I'm on board on that one.
Now, does it just have to be Scarlett Johansson, or does it have to be Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow?
No, it could just be Scarlett Johansson. Like Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow was okay, but it wasn't necessarily like anything as sexy. Like now, the her thing is. Did you ever see that movie where Joaquin Phoenix fucks his phone?
What? I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is messed up to begin with. I mean, anybody
there's this movie. It came out probably like, oh gosh, within the past 10 years, but it's called Her, and it's about Joaquin Phoenix, and he's like a greeting card writer.
I did not know he banged his phone.
Yeah, and well, it's like Scarlett Johansson's the AI voice on his phone, and he eventually they have a relationship, right? And okay, spoilers for the movie Her. Spoilers. Mute me, whatever. I'm going to do this when it's over. So I would much rather Joe do it.
Who's Joe? Is he talking Fat Joe? Is he talking Samoa Joe?
Joe Bob Briggs. Joe Bob Briggs as a DM would be fucking fantastic.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden is a DM. I would do that.
I would do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but you were saying.
Okay, yeah, but as I was saying, spoilers for the movie Her. So Scarlett Johansson is his AI girlfriend, and then he starts dating it legitimately, and they're intimate and everything. And some people are kind of like, it's a little fucked up that you're dating your phone. And then towards the end of it, they kind of break up after he realizes that she's an AI, she's like Skynet, right? So she's been having relationships with every other sorry asshole on the planet, and then finally he just kind of breaks up with her, if I remember the end of the movie correctly. But yeah, so, but there's even a part where they're gonna bang, and they have to have this human surrogate come in and try, but it's awkward, and yeah.
Okay, so they basically, I know you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory, like I am.
Yes.
Do you remember the episode where Raj falls in love with Siri?
Maybe if I saw it, but I don't remember specifically.
Yeah, there's an episode where Siri, Raj gets his first iPhone with Siri on it, and then he falls in love with Siri, and he gets cases for his iPhone to take it to dinner.
I must have missed this episode. I don't.
Okay, I'll have to send it to you because that was a thing. And in that, so they took that episode, they took that concept and just made it a really bad movie with Joaquin Phoenix, I guess. Daniel knows the episode I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's I don't know what correlation of when they came out or not. I know that the movie had to have been within the past 10 years.
Remember Demolition Man, and they had to have sex with VR headsets on?
Yeah.
That sounds like what this is, but done really terribly.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me. The movie was good, right? The movie was fucking weird, the premise, but it wasn't actually a bad movie. But yeah, it wasn't quite to the level of, Sandra Bullock and Sylvester Stallone were in fake VR headsets while Dennis Leary's kind of watching in the background. You know,
That's a life goal. Dennis Leary watching me bang.
I'll drink to that.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. You tuned in for a
But
good
yeah,
one, folks.
yeah, Snoop. Okay, yeah, but back to
Snoop, yeah,
the
Snoop.
thing. Snoop Dogg as a DM, and then like I'm hoping that's an AI picture of Snoop, by the way, in the cape and the
I
the
don't think it is.
like.
I think they got him to dress up in this shit. Okay, well, this is from The Messenger, and they say Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg pulled a surprise out of his enchanted bag of holding for viewers at the company's annual Meta Connect Product Summit on Wednesday. The artificial intelligence version of Snoop Dogg playing Dungeon Master. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe that was the AI pick. Users
Okay,
who
hang on.
okay.
Before you go on, I just want to paint a word picture for a minute.
Okay.
So you've got imagine like there's this auditorium full of Facebook employees that have to go to this meeting that they don't really want to be at. Just because it's like how many company meetings have you ever wanted to be at?
Oh, yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So yeah, you're this office drone, and it's like it's like you're joking with your buddies. It's like maybe they're going to announce giving us a raise or something. All that shit that you do. And then Mark Zuckerberg gets out there and he starts to give that chanting about, how good Facebook is and, what we're going to do great. And then it's like, and then we got this, and unveils the DM Snoop Dogg Dungeon Master. Like, what do you do as an employee at that point? Are you just like,
Clock me out,
motherfucker?
bro. Clock me
Yeah,
out.
like I'm done. Fuck this job. Fuck this job. I'm going to go work at X with Elon Musk.
Well, yeah. Dude, so I wanted to save this towards the end, but I just had a great thought. So one of the things Seth and I want to start doing, not every week, but sometimes we want to do like a draft and do like a random topic or subject. And I was thinking for our first draft next week, we could draft our top 5 video game controllers. Okay.
Okay.
So,
All
all
right.
right, so like just for example, if you got the first pick, your first pick would be the Xbox Series, or not Series, but Xbox One controller. Then
Right.
mine would probably be the original NES controller, and then you would have to pick something else. Okay,
That
so we're
motherfucker
basically.
cut your hands all to shreds.
Oh, dude, I don't care. So many great hours were spent on that controller, but. Now I think we're going to have to switch it up because Daniel I want Sam Elliott to be my DM. So I guess maybe next week our first draft will be if we could have a celebrity DM, who would it be? Draft.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Roll a 20.
Critical hit, Hulkster.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh Lord.
Sam Elliott would be a fuck of a DM,
oh,
though.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. He'd just be all like slow and methodical. Like,
You roll a 1 for a hit,
well,
and I could just hear
yeah.
Sam Elliott. Are you fucking serious?
Are you fucking serious? Them goblins stole all your goddamn treasure.
Oh, that maybe, yeah. I think we'll have to switch gears on that one and make that.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. That's good, Daniel. That's good.
Way to go, Daniel. Way to contribute. Way to be a team player.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. Okay, so wow. All right, so that is going to pretty much cover most of the topics that we had today for the show. But we do want to get into 2 segments that we're going to do on a maybe not a weekly basis, but a regular basis. And I'm going to do mine first because mine's a little bit somber and a little bit angry. And I want to end on a good note. So first we're going to do Bill's rant, and we're going to stick around for Seth Reacts. And you'll want to stick around for that because it's truly a hilarious video.
Yeah,
So
most of I have no experience with viral videos aside from like what is on YouTube, and I usually watch long form shit. I don't have TikTok, Facebook. I don't have any of the social media, so whatever Bill is going to show me is going to be new to me.
Well, now I'm going to call a little bit of BS on that, but maybe nowadays you're not really plugged into viral videos. But back in the day, you were the one who was sending me Numa Kid and Angry German Kid.
Oh, no,
And
no doubt. Back in the day, like I was on Facebook probably, a stupid amount, but then it's like, I mean, real talk, like Facebook really started to fuck with my mental health.
right,
Like,
I
and
get
it was
that.
just
I
like
get
one of
that.
those things where like, yeah, I had to cut it out. So yeah.
All right. Well, now let's go on to Bill's rant real quick. So, when Seth and I decided to start this podcast, okay, I made a promise to myself and a promise to Seth that I didn't want this podcast to become political. I wanted it to focus on pop culture, not the culture war. But sometimes, folks, the bleed over is just so blatantly egregious, it's got to be addressed. And that's what I'm doing in this first edition of Bill's Rant. Last week, we briefly talked about the allegations of sexual assault against Russell Brand and how he was demonetized on YouTube in light of those allegations. We also talked about the United Kingdom Parliament reaching across the pond, urging Rumble to demonetize Brand in what people have called a huge government overreach. Now, currently, Brand is being investigated by London Metropolitan Police, and rightfully so. These are serious allegations that deserve to be looked into. If Brand is found guilty, he should be prosecuted and punished to the fullest extent of the law. However, Brand has not been convicted of anything yet. And while I'm no expert in the judicial system of England, according to the UK Ministry of Justice website, citizens of England are presumed innocent until proven guilty as per the Human Rights Act of 1998. Way to go, England. It took you 1998 to get Civil Rights or Human Rights Act. But their government has reached across the pond to an American company in a disgusting and borderline illegal attempt to censor Brand, or at a bare minimum, cut off a revenue stream for him. Thank God Rumble has balls, unlike YouTube. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Bill, what has this got to do with pop culture? Good question, and I'm about to answer it. Well, another pop culture icon has also had some legal trouble regarding allegations of sexual misconduct, is now in the midst of 2 lawsuits due to these allegations. And this person has won a fucking humanitarian award. Of course, I'm talking about everybody's most favorite body positivity herself, Lizzo. Earlier this year, former dancers and employees for her shows alleged that at a strip club in Europe, they were forced to participate and engage in sex acts that involved strippers, which included fruit. Use your own imagination. About a week ago, another lawsuit from another former employee was filed with similar allegations. All the accusers in both lawsuits have also alleged that they were mistreated by acts of bullying, which included body shaming and racist remarks. Now, did YouTube demonetize Lizzo's YouTube channel that has over 3 million subscribers? Of course they didn't. As a matter of fact, it's just the opposite. The Black Music Action Coalition gave Lizzo the Quincy Jones Humanitarian Award. Now, no one is alleging that Lizzo sexually assaulted anyone. There's levels to this. But there are dozens of male celebrities that have been accused of sexual misconduct and been completely blackballed and canceled. The bottom line is this. Will my rant change your mind? Probably not. Will it convict Brand or bring down Lizzo? Of course it won't. What this rant does say is that from this point forward, if you want to have a discussion with me about rights or the system or equality, and you even utter the word privilege, then I'm just going to walk away from you and dismiss anything you've said because you're using a falsehood to support a straw man argument. Privilege is now a word that has been bastardized and weaponized to the point where, like a few other words in the American society, it has no true meaning anymore. Privilege does not exist. It's not a thing. You don't have to react to it. I'm done.
No, I'm just kind of, I'm taking in what you said, and and one of the tenets of this podcast is that we can talk about this kind of stuff, and we can agree or disagree civilly,
Mhm.
depending on whatever something that Bill says might not necessarily reflect what I feel or vice versa.
Mhm.
But this is going to be a platform where we can say these kind of things, and it's
Well,
I feel like that's a strong suit that we can say things
yeah.
like that, and maybe open it up for kind of discussion.
But see, I didn't want the podcast to become this. And, I'm going to do
Yeah.
everything in my power to stay away from stuff like this because I wanted this to be fun. I wanted it to be lighthearted, but dang, this just it really got under my skin how somebody receives a humanitarian award with allegations of sexual assault, but then somebody or sexual misconduct. and racism and bullying and body shaming, who's supposed to be the body positive icon.
Right. I have no idea who this person is, by the way. I'm just listening. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Russell Brand, this guy gets demonetized, and government overreach tries to demonetize him on another platform. And he's just been accused. He's not been convicted of anything yet. So that's where I was going with that. And basically privilege is just not a word that holds any meaning anymore, just like a few other words in the English dichotomy. But did you have any reaction to that, or you're just going to not touch it?
I would, the only thing that I would push back on is the use of the word privilege.
Okay.
And that is like, I do feel that there is still a privilege aspect, that, that maybe, obviously, like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it's like, I know, like, me personally, like, I have experienced and have, like, I can acknowledge, like, times where it's like I have been privileged because of who I am and like the way I was born. I was privileged to be able to do things that other people cannot. And and it's and to be 100% candid, it's like, to put it into perspective, like, there was a period of time for several years where I would buy marijuana from from a place 2 blocks away from one of the most corrupt police stations in the entire country, and felt absolutely no fear about doing it in the open. And that is because I was white and I did not have to worry about getting shot by the Louisville Police Department because I was black. And I'm just, that's the truth. I sincerely believe that, and I never had any fear of it. And that is one aspect when, I can say that, I know that my privilege has protected me.
Okay.
And yeah,
Okay.
but that's the only acknowledge, yeah.
Gotcha. I get what you're saying. Okay. But with that being said, we're going to end the show on something a lot more fun and a lot more lighthearted. So I'm going to actually full screen this because I want you to get the entire. Okay. Now, for the record, before we go on here, I need to add a disclaimer. This has a couple of choice words in it. Just remember the source. We are just playing the source material. We're not saying it. We don't approve of it. And I would never actually say this. I know Seth never would actually say it either. But given the context,
now I'm kind of getting nervous about what you're going to show me here.
Okay. Well, yeah, when you see this, you'll be like, you'll get what I'm saying. But either way.
Okay.
All right. So let me make sure the volume's up all the way. It is. Here we go. Check it out.
It's just a thing of beauty.
Nigga, what? What in the John Cena AA whirling dervish? You see shit like this that I think WWE 2K needs to bring back creative finisher, because this shit was fire. No, these guys aren't wrestlers this stomach, but that shit as a finisher is cold right now.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Someone in AEW is gonna do this. I bet. Nigga.
I mean, he's not wrong. That is some badass shit. That would be a fucking finisher.
That should be
awesome.
I'm going to tune in every week to Dynamite now live just to see if somebody pulls that off as a finisher.
Yeah, somebody's doing that shit. You know they are.
That was, I mean, it looks like a super cool move. And I mean, if somebody, so put in the comments, let us know, what would you name that finisher? I mean, doesn't, what is his name? I love him. We just talked about him.
Matt Jones.
Will Ospreay. He already does a move called the Stormbreaker, right?
Yeah.
And then Tony Storm does Storm Zero. So
yeah,
somebody's going to
be. We fucking hate Matt Jones. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, before we go, ladies and gentlemen, we did want to let you all know that, first off, we appreciate your support, the great comments, the great viewers. Yes. I mean, the fact that we're already in the teens combined with these two platforms. Wow. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all so much. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for Daniel, Bill, Tabitha, or not Bill, George. Yeah, George,
Ashley.
Ashley, thank you all for coming and hanging out, like even for a little bit. It means so much.
And even if you didn't
Uh,
comment and interact, thank you for being
yeah,
here
no,
anyway.
thank you for just hanging out. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's like I get it. Like, I'm just a YouTube lingerer. Like, I might leave a like every once in a while and shit, but no, like the views, every it means a lot,
Yeah.
just to see like even like the pilot, that we had that got as much reception as it did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that didn't get to stream live on Facebook. That was only on Rumble. So
Right, yeah.
yeah. So thank you, everybody. We do appreciate the support. Next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Seth and I are going to draft our top 5 celebrity dungeon master.
Celebrity AI DMs.
Oh,
AI.
okay. AI
Yeah.
DMs. And
Yeah, because that could make it like a fun thing too. It's like, yeah, like who wants to be like have actual Bernie fucking Sanders as a DM? Like, no, I want
right.
AI Bernie Sanders that I can fuck with.
And then we're also going to do a full review of the Netflix series Wrestlers based on OVW right up the road in Lexington, Kentucky. For Seth, it's right down the road, like a couple of blocks. So
yeah.
So we're definitely going to talk about that. And I'll reiterate what Seth said. Fuck Matt Jones. But
Which we will go into reasons why we independently hate Matt Jones next week.
We will share our Matt Jones stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for listening. And we will see you next week right here on Rumble and Facebook, 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. Thank you for joining us. We do appreciate it.
Love you all. Thank you.